Hello, my name is Ryan Leege, and I'm a writer. I grew up in a Christian household, going to church most Sundays, going to Sunday school when I was younger, and then going to the main congregation when I was older. And I enjoyed church, and I liked it enough, but I was really happy when church was over, and I could leave and go outside and go skateboarding or doing whatever I wanted to do. And as a younger person, I didn't really take it very personally. Jesus didn't really seem very real to me. It just kind of seemed like a story. I couldn't relate with the older people in church very well. So when I was a little bit older, I stopped going sometime before high school. And I just didn't go to church at all. I didn't really think about my faith very much. Then after high school, I moved out to Lake Tahoe and went snowboarding and skateboarding out there, and was drinking and things like that. This idea of faith never really came up then either. And then I went to college after that, and I was a science major. And then the idea of atheism was what seemed right to me, just from what I was learning in school with evolution, Big Bang Theory, and all of that. So then I was basically an atheist at that point, and for me that seemed to be just fine. And a while after that, I found out about meditation, and I tried that, and I really liked it. So then I got into meditating after a bit, and I really enjoyed it, and I started looking into it more. I was listening to podcasts on meditation and Eastern philosophy, like Hinduism and Buddhism. And I found out about a class that was in LA, a meditation teacher class. So I flew out there and took that class, and I really enjoyed it. It seemed like that was for me, like that was my thing. And there were a few more classes to take, and I didn't go back right away, but then I ended up taking them online and finished the teacher training course. I became a certified mindfulness meditation teacher. And then at that point, I was collecting Buddhist texts and reading them every single day, taking a Buddhist class every week for a couple hours. So I was really heavily involved in that and became an official Buddhist, I guess, at that point. Meditating every day for 40 minutes, never missing a day. And one day I was taking a class, and the whole time during the class I had just had this strange, uneasy feeling. I asked my teacher a question. I didn't like the way he answered it either. We break out into small groups, and that didn't really sit well with me. And after the class was over, I just sat on my meditation cushion and just started crying for half an hour straight. I didn't know what it was. I just looked up after I was done, and it was half an hour after my class was over, and I thought, that's crazy. What is happening to me? So I got up and I was walking around the house, and nobody else was home for some reason. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, I could feel something in my heart. I'm like, that's the Lord. Like, that is the right way to go. That is the truth. And what I was doing is not the truth. So that was a big revelation, just like that, like out of the blue. And at that point, I threw away all the Buddhist books I had. I stopped meditating, which was crazy to people that I knew, that I was close to. And I called my parents a few days after that, because I was trying to find a Bible. I couldn't find one that I liked. So I called them and I said, hey, could you send me a Bible? And my parents couldn't believe it. And they were like, yes, of course we can. And my dad ordered me one and some other Christian books and had them sent to my house. And my mom, whenever I talked to her quite a bit, and every time I talk to her, she's like, I'm praying for you. I'm praying that you'll become a Christian. I know it's right, and I know that you argue with me about it all the time, but that's the right way to go. And her prayers paid off, definitely. So then after that, I started trying to find a church to go to. And my fiance's best friend goes to this church called Substance, so we just went there. I didn't know where else to go. And right when I walked in, it felt like it was home. So right away I found a church, got plugged in there, talked to the pastor. I volunteer there every other week. serve at church. A verse that has stuck with me, it was actually the first verse that I memorized. It's James 1:19, and it says, "Know this, my beloved brothers, be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger." That's helped me out a lot in my life, just with listening to people instead of waiting to talk, and not becoming angry right away instead of just waiting. It's helped me a lot at work with people that I would have maybe said something to that I held off and I didn't. And now we have good relationships, and I think if I would have said something, it would have been totally different. So that's a good one for everybody to practice. I try to practice that every single day. So that's my story.